A fun week. Lots of thinking, lots of doing, lots of activity. That was very delightful activity. But today I want to talk to you about that situation in which maybe you want to change something in your life and you're thinking that an MLM might be it. Maybe you're one of those people who's already made the leap into doing that side gig and there were multiple reasons for you to do that, but what you have to look at, maybe if it's not working well, is what was the influence that helped you make that choice? But what was the thing about yourself or your skills that you didn't know you didn't have? Yes, I'm going to say that again. You made a choice to join an MLM, but you don't know about the skills that you might have needed, and you don't know you don't have them because you see others doing the same thing. So I'm Marla Copal, and you can get a hold of me anytime at successwithmarla.com. And I talk you through those gaps in those decision makings, those decisions that you made. Pardon me. I love the fall weather, but with falling leaves, I get a little bit of congestion. So it goes, it comes. At least I'm not sneezing like a mad fool. But so welcome to my life. So let's talk again about you saw somebody you heard about, you feel really good about taking on an MLM as a side gig because it's going to help you fulfill your dream of um, taking more vacations with your family, fulfill your dream of putting your children into private school, fulfill your dream of homeschooling, fulfill your dream of providing an income for your family so you can have a quality of life that you'd like to have without having to work for somebody else. I just read an article this morning that more and more, good morning, that more and more people really are, the statistics show that people work 7.5 to maybe 9.5 hours a week that are unpaid for when they're working at a job. Now, I remember I had one years ago, and I was an on site manager for a, a 350 unit apartment complex that was like a club. I mean, we had the facilities like you can't believe, and lakes, and we had a staff of 18. So we were no puny operation. And when I was manager, the bosses told me you will be working 50 hours a week. That is on the agenda. You will get paid for 50 hours a week. It's not overtime. You will get paid for 50 hours a week. Hey, Donna. So thank you. Yes, residual income is definitely about how we work smarter. So, and not for others. But I'm talking to people today is about how they made their choice to get in there. A lot of times people get in there and they make the leap without knowing whether they are going to really keep themselves strong in the process of doing that. So many people are so afraid to fail, they make the choice because their friend did a good job of it, but they don't have the inner strength to pull them through. So that's another reason then sometimes people come in because you actually have that inner strength. You just haven't acknowledged it. And when you don't acknowledge your inner strength, you got to think of all the other life things that you've been through. When you don't acknowledge your inner strength, you bring in self-doubt like in a crazy place. And so it's a decision every day that you have to make to get up, get going, have a plan. Now, if you go out and just pull an article off of the internet and you say, well, how would I start a business? Everybody says, write a business plan. Well, the reason a lot of people choose MLMs is the business plan is actually written for you. They show you how you can financially make an income. They tell you all about the product, but they still have no way to measure your skills versus your interest. And if your skills can't keep up with your interest, you will lose momentum. And thank you, Donna, for all these great words. If you know you have skills, but you feel you have to know more about the product before you can launch your business, you will also create a gap in your action and momentum to get going in this MLM. And then all of a sudden, when it doesn't work, you'll tell yourself, oh, well, that was a bad choice. Well, was it? Was it a bad choice? Or was it that you didn't really know who your audience was and you were talking to the wrong people? Or did you really not have the courage to say, I need to do a self-assessment here and say, what are my skills? What are my talents? And where do I need to grow them? So Donna says she loves the learn as you go method, but a lot of people don't have the strength, the inner strength to do that. Self-doubt comes in and kills that learn as you go process, because you're always in that self-doubt of, am I getting anywhere? Am I getting anywhere? So the other reason that you use a gap coach, and I don't always call myself a gap coach, but in this case, these are just gaps. You knew you had skills. You made a choice to go over here and join an MLM, according to what somebody else said. Now, and probably the only thought you have in their head is, if they can do it, I can do it. Well, the if they can do it, I can do it scenario does not bootstrap you into the right kinds of action when you're stressing, when you're saying, oh, darn, what did I do? Oh my gosh, I want to quit my job. And you add in all these pressures. So a gap coach, after you've made that leap, helps you go back and review, why did you take the leap? And then what were the steps that you already had in place? And now what are just the few skills that you have to add so that those steps feel strong? They feel like they're strong steps. And some people, like Donna, who's watching and commenting and giving me a shout out this morning, she's someone who learns well from her mistakes and can turn the corners quickly. But not everybody does that. We're not all designed the same. A lot of us have different personality traits where we cogitate, we ruminate, we think about things overly much, and then we shut ourselves down. So when you're building something, you got to say, where am I shutting myself down? Where am I getting tunnel vision? Where do I need to go bigger? What do I need to do? So where people are getting themselves in trouble nowadays is they think they can look at social media marketing and understanding the strategies. Do you know how complex those strategies are out there to market, to attract people to you? Pretty intense. And they're like a finely woven tapestry. Or if any of you are texture-oriented people where you like to feel textures in your material and your cloth, that's really what you want your presentations and your experiences on Facebook or LinkedIn or anywhere to be like. It's like, maybe I should have used a different metaphor. It's not tapestry. It could be a tapestry with a lot of texture, or it could be a crunchy food. People like texture. So they want to see that texture in your communications. They want to see that texture in your skill levels. And they want you to know, they want to know that you can kind of bounce off the walls and come into your place of power. So a lot of people leap into their MLMs. And when they leap into those, they don't take time to do self-assessment. Okay, did it work the last time? Good morning. Did it work the last time? If it didn't work the last time I did an MLM, where did I break down? And it's not the company. It's not the product. It's a high probability of a few things. You didn't know how to attract enough people to talk to, therefore you couldn't make enough sales. You didn't know how to talk to those people other than pitching them a product after you got to know them. Good morning. Or you had a lot of thoughts about, I'm just going to mimic my friend who turned me on to this MLM, and if they're doing it, I can do it. We each have our own unique behaviors that actually provide, that's part of our character. And do you know that people actually want to play with people who have character, people who have integrity, people who know how to build relationships easy? So if you are not sure how to address or look at your relationship building skills, that's where people like me come in. I can help you with that because you probably have a powerful relationship building skill, but somehow it gets all choked up when you want to go to Facebook, or you want to go to Twitter, or you want to go to LinkedIn. And I see over and over again people using stories where it's like, I've got this product, I've got this product, I've got this product. Well, do you know every one of you that are posting those products out there, and this is a freebie today, if you're posting your products with your company name showing, I got to promise you, people will bypass you and they'll just go to that website and order if something you said interested them, or if they go out and do their own investigation. So how do you build an audience and keep them close to you? The world's not exclusive, but if you want an exclusive business, you've got to craft it exclusively. So again, people who talk to me, successwithmarla.com, it's very easy to set a time to work with me so that we can look at and address these choices you've made, good morning, for making that leap into a multi-level marketing company, to creating that freedom. But we got to look at what stops you. Now, if you're someone who you've made this choice 2 or 3 times, or you're hanging in with someone and you've only made $8 in 5 years, well, then it really is time to talk, because there are ways to turn those corners. Don't quit on yourself. Don't quit on the dream, and don't quit on that business model. But there are a lot of things that go into place to make that business model work. And most companies don't train you on that. They will train you on the product. They will train you on the value of their product. They will have maybe some leaders that you chose to follow, but some of those people don't even know how to train you. So to go to outside sources to get your support is absolutely appropriate, because you're wanting to build your downline. Don't feel bad that you're not building a downline and somebody else can, because what you want to find out is what is it they're doing? And you know what? Some people just do things very well, but they can't tell you how they do them. I break things down into bite-sized pieces so you can understand how to do things. I was taking a seminar this weekend, or earlier this week, and I watched somebody coming in with a great process to teach people how to build email lists. But my gosh, it required, and I'm not going to diss that process. It works for a lot of people. But let me just tell you who I saw in the audience. So there were a lot of people in that audience, and they were learning how to build a summit. And in building that summit, they needed to invite speakers that had 5,000-6,000, probably more people already on their emailing list. But when you're a person who may only have 300 or 400 people on your email list, and the reason you're doing the summit is to grow your list, how do you make the leap from you, a person with 300 things, to go to somebody who's already got 10,000 on their email list? What are you offering them? They already know it's to your advantage to have them. So if you can't go out and invite them into your process where you already have an email list of 10,000 and you want to help them grow to 20,000, where's the reciprocation in that? So there are a few confident people in that session that are going to be able to go out there and get that done. But what I saw were a lot of people living with a lot of self-doubt. That self-doubt will make that particular presenter a lot of money, because there's a lot of hope going on there. And this was a free seminar, so again, I'm not dissing her, but she does have a higher end product, and that is really good. But sometimes you got to make sure you're building a business and not smoking a pipe dream. So if you want to build a business and you want to take it one step at a time, and you want to find the bite-sized pieces you yourself can implement, then that's where you come into someone who's a pragmatist and a creative, like I am, and we'll break down your style into that system called your MLM, and then we will help you find your audience, and then we will help you make your sales. So there's a lot of pieces, it's a lot of moving parts. You just can't make the leap without knowing all the moving parts and getting those moving parts into process for you. So I look forward to you getting a hold of me. I have education. I can help you find the moving parts that are missing, and I can help you get a campaign going. And usually most all anybody has to do is to spend about 60 to 90 days with me, and they know where they want to go, and then they just come back for tune-ups. So successwithmarla.com. Let's get started. Get on my email list, set a time to talk to me, and let's just see if I'm safe enough for you. But I've been to all those places I just talked about, and I can get you over that hump. Talk to you soon.